What's up, party people? It's your favorite art teacher, Mr. F here. And today I'm going to teach you just a really fun art game that I like to call Face Off. Now, I don't know if I invented this game, but what I do know is that nobody taught it to me. So as far as I'm concerned, I invented this game. The purpose of this game is actually, it's got a few different purposes. Number one, it's fun. It's just plain fun. I've now played this with groups of people, small groups, big groups, and everybody has a blast. But beyond the fact that it's just fun, because by the way, this is a great game to play at parties. But beyond the fact that it's fun, it teaches collaboration. And collaboration is when you've got more than one artist working together towards a common goal. And what you're going to find in life is that life is full of collaborations. And so learning to work with people on a creative level is a great skill to have. And then on top of all that, what's great about this game is, you know, when I come across people who have maybe not engaged with art or created art in a very long time, or who have never created art, and are getting back into art for the first time in a long time, or getting into art for the very first time. One of the first things that I encounter with people is that they're very nervous and they're very tense. The purpose of this game is to teach you, first and foremost, that art is supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be something you have fun with. And if you enter into the arts with this super uptight attitude, you're not going to have a good time. And if you're not going to have a good time, you're not going to keep doing it. And if you don't keep doing it, you're not going to, learn about your relationship with art. So one of the main purposes of this game is to teach you to just loosen up and have fun and not take it so seriously. Now, this game can be played with as few as 2 people, but it can also be played with, as far as I'm concerned, as many people as you want. I have found that having anywhere from 6 to 10 people is really ideal. But like I said, you can play with as few as 2 or as many as 6, 10, whatever. What you are going to want to do, though, is have one person be picked to be the timer/judge, which doesn't sound like it's that much fun at first, but it does wind up being fun. And then what happens is when you finish a round, you switch it up so that everyone gets a turn as the timer/judge. So here's how this works. Now, I'm going to be demonstrating using a dry erase board and color-coded markers, but you can do this with, plain paper and a simple pencil. You don't have to have the colors. You don't have to be fancy with it. You can just do it with paper and pencils. You can do it with paper and crayons. You can use markers. But honestly, you can do this with any kind of drawing utensil. Now, if you have these little dry erase markers, these are kind of perfect for it, because the whole idea is you don't want to get overly attached to the drawing. This is one of those occasions where it's not about the drawing as in drawing the noun. It's about drawing the verb. It's about the act of drawing. So really, you can use anything you want, but like I said, I'm going to use a little dry erase board with color-coded markers. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have each player has at least one marker or one pencil or one crayon, and then one thing to draw on, whether it's a dry erase board or a piece of paper. So each player gets one of those things. And you all sit with them blank in front of you. It's important that nobody start before anybody else. Then what's going to happen is the timer is going to give everybody 20 seconds to draw a part of the face and head. So the first thing that's going to come up is the timer is going to say, okay, when I say go, you draw a head, and everyone gets to draw a head. So the timer is going to say, okay, everyone gets that, go. And then the timer starts counting to 20 seconds, and now everyone has 20 seconds to draw a head. Now, obviously, you can start with your just standard issue oval-shaped head, but the whole point of this game is to have fun. So in my opinion, why not draw a peanut-shaped head? My motto for this game is the weirder, the better. So everyone can draw a head. They can draw it however they want. They can draw it, they can draw it standard or they can draw it silly. But they've got 20 seconds. And then when 20 seconds is up, the timer says pass. And everyone passes the piece of paper or dry erase board in front of them to their right. So that now everyone at the table should have a piece of paper or a dry erase board with a head on it that they did not draw. They should have the drawing from the person on their left. So everyone, when the timer says pass, everyone passes their drawing to the right. And so now everyone has a drawing of a head in front of them. Now, when the timer says eyes, everyone draws eyes. And again, you can just draw your standard set of eyes, or, like I said, in my opinion, the weirder, the better. You can have googly eyes. You can have eyes coming out of different parts of the head. You can have more than one eye. You can have several eyes. The weirder, the better. Then after 20 seconds, the timer says pass. And then the next person has 20 seconds to draw a nose. And like I said, you can draw just a standard issue nose, or let's get even more creative and draw an elephant's trunk. Like I said, the weirder, the better. And while we're at it, why not have a nose coming out of a nose and give that nose a nose? The stranger, the weirder, the better. And then after 20 seconds, the timer says pass. And now everyone has 20 seconds to draw a mouth. And again, you can draw a very standard issue mouth, or you can draw a kitty cat mouth with big fangs coming out of it. Again, the weirder, the more creative, the better. And that's another advantage of playing this game, is it sort of compels you to push your creativity, but do it in a short amount of time so that you're not overthinking it. You'd be surprised how creative you get when you've only got 20 seconds to do something and there's no time to really overthink it. All right, so after 20 seconds, once everyone's got a mouth on, the timer says pass, and now it's time for everyone to draw ears. But rather than draw your typical ears, I'm going to draw sort of bizarre dragony ears. And again, just the stranger, the better. Then after 20 seconds of drawing ears, the timer says pass, and now it's everybody's turn to draw hair. And in this case, I think I'm just gonna give some curly hair, but hair can also involve eyebrows, eyelashes, nose hairs. Again, the weirder, the better. Now, by this time, people are generally having a really good time with how crazy these drawings are. And so after 20 seconds of drawing that, we've got one more bonus round, the accessories round. So the timer says pass, and now everyone has the opportunity to draw accessories. That is to say, they can give their character earrings, nose rings, more facial hair. You can give them a hat, whatever you want. You can give them tattoos, any kind of accessory you want. You can give them a clown collar, really whatever you want. And then after 20 seconds, the game is over and everyone can have a look at the things that they've created. And again, what's great about it is everyone can feel as though they have contributed to every drawing, because they have. So this drawing is not owned by just one person. This is the creative results of people collaborating and working together. Now, this is the part where the person who's had the job of being timer can also be judge and go around and say and rank which one is their favorite one. But honestly, Every time I played this game, every single one of them winds up looking hilarious and great. All right, so I hope you like this idea. Take it and have fun with it. Zigga zigga, party people.